this is a 30 wide by 12 inch deep by I think 18 inch tall tank, and we are going to move him to this 36 inch wide by 18 inch deep by 24 inch tall Exoterra terrarium. We're going to be making it a bioactive vivarium, and I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. First things first, we are going to take this foam rock wall thing design out, toss it to the side, and a couple of things we're going to incorporate into the tank. I found this lawn, I guess, sculpture. It's pretty heavy, but it doesn't have to lean on anything for support. It's kind of freestanding, so I'm just going to build a base for it. I've also got some really cool cork bark rounds that we found at again, underground reptiles in Deerfield. These are awesome, and we're going to kind of cut these up a bit and make some, I guess, some texture to the background, and put some plants in them, and it's gonna look really cool when it's all said and done. But I can't wait. I'm gonna get started on it now, and let's get going. So I kind of got the cork bark laid out exactly where I want to. The base is ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding the foam, and we're also going to throw in a few small cups for planters and stuff like that. So just a couple. So we're using expanding foam for it's a waterfall foam sealant for like ponds and waterfalls and stuff like that. We're going to be basically foaming these cork bark logs into place, and creating the backdrop. See, it can get a little messy. Okay, so now you basically just wait 24 hours, let this expanding foam do what it does. Move stuff around a little bit so it's have the proper space. And I might have to go back and trim up some of the cork bark and stuff like that to get a proper fit, but that's basically what I wanted right there. Now I just gotta wait. So I waited for the expanding foam to dry up, and one thing I did find out is that you don't have to wait 24 hours to do the sides. The expanding foam sets up plenty rigid enough to hold stuff like cork bark and stuff within a few hours, so you can kind of do a whole tank in a single day. And now basically all I got to do is start carving it to make a shape or flatten it out. On the big area in the back, that's going to be covered by the Buddha head. I just used a grinder and made quick work of it. The rest is all going to have to be cut by hand with like a razor blade. So I'm going to start carving.
So now you just go back, and this is by far the most time consuming part. Basically just carve, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just carve the, rough shapes of what you want. And you try to make it, I guess, look as natural as possible, but part of that is just being kind of chaotic.
All right, so now you're gonna use GE 100% silicone, and you are going to just lather it all over the carved pieces that you just did. Be very liberal, and then you can, you don't have to do the whole thing at one time. You can kind of spot it, and you're gonna smear it in. Make sure you get in all like the little nooks, and wear gloves because it does get messy. You can see I did a section over here already, and you can go back after you've already gone through it and do spots. And then this is like it's called plantation soil, which is basically coconut husk. You just sprinkle it on and kind of rub it in, and after a couple of hours you can tilt this on its end and let all the remnants kind of fall off and do little spots. And that's about it. Almost done with the ball python enclosure. I have just a few little touch-up areas, and then we can put some plants in here and put the substrate and all the isopods and springtails and stuff like that to make it a bioactive. Almost there. Won't be able to work on it until next week because we're going away this weekend, but it's coming together nicely. So made a little bit more progress with the Vivarium. Spent the weekend up at my best friend's house in Okeechobee, and was able to get some Spanish moss from their trees. I cleaned it, or washed it to get, whatever insects or anything out of it. And it probably won't last too long, but that'll just give me more excuses to go visit Adam and Michelle up in Okeechobee. But almost ready to put the snake in. We just got to add plants in all of our pods and the soil and all the little critters that'll act as the cleaning crew, and then we'll have a bioactive vivarium for him, which is going to be awesome. So stay tuned. So attaching the Spanish moss, I went out and got some gardening wire, which looks like this, and I just basically cut it to size and kind of just press it into place, and that's it. Actually looks really cool, and like I said, I know I'm gonna have to change it out, but actually getting it from
my friend's ranch up in Okeechobee. Kind of adds to the sentimental value of it, and for the most part it's still, you know, looking good. So we've added the Zoomed 36-inch UVB light with LEDs. It has a really cool feature. It has some red LEDs, which you can see there. Hold on, I'll try to switch it off. Turn it off. So the blues are off. Everything's off. That is supposed to, I guess, resemble night or lunar. So it's, you know, the blue LEDs, and you can turn those on. And one more. That's the UV. There's the red. So the jungle mix is in, and we put some sphagnum moss. We're going to wet it, or saturate, or not saturate, but we're going to give it a good misting, and then mix it all in. So these are the isopods. They are going to basically keep the tank clean for us. You can already see like little babies in there. So what they do is they reproduce, and they'll, I guess, create a little colony, and they maintain the tank and keep it to where we don't have to really do anything after a while. So we added the leaf litter, which is going to provide a food source for the isopods and springtails, and also, you know, makes the floor of the terrarium look a little bit more natural. Here's Dexter checking out his new home. What do you think, dude?